Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make a quiz. So I have navigated into a course in which I have editing rights. For now editing is not turned on, but I will turn editing on by going here and then pressing turn editing on. And that gives me some choices here, so you can see add an activity or resource is possible, and I'll do that. And I'm going to add the quiz here. There we go. And I'm going to model what is in one of the other quizzes that we have created, and we have a problem set for the sand simulation. And I'm going to write in this problem. So here we tell our students what it is that they're going to do, because we see this not as a test, but as a learning experience. And as such, we also have other things that we want our students to know. For example, that the virtual instrument that you will be using simulates scattering off of either spheres or spherical shells. And you use your knowledge later on in the course. However, for this particular problem set, you will only need to consider spheres. And I'm going to jump down and then put in a link to the and you can see here that the link is already active, but you can activate it as in many of these editors here. You can activate it or deactivate it and put in different kinds of links. Now, one thing we also do usually is that we put in learning goals. And this is also to emphasize that this is a learning experience, this is not a test. And for this particular exercise, as you can also see, the learning goals are here. So differentiate between reciprocal and real space variables, analyze Sand's experiment and using graphs, images, and mathematical expressions, and so on. These are not easy to write always. So I suggest that you create your quiz and you update this as you update this these texts here as you develop the quiz and find out what it is that your students will be learning when they take the quiz. The next thing here are these settings down here. Now, timing, grade, and layout is something that we don't spend a lot of time on. What we do change for each of these is this how questions behave. We want to use adaptive mode. This makes it possible for you to make hints, and then when students answer incorrectly, they can get a hint. And they can only answer as many times as you have made hints. So if you have made 2 hints, then they can answer, I think, 3 times. 4 hints, 5 times, and so on. But you also need to change the review options. So all of these are marked, and we'll just start by unmarking here. And then we'll see that what you need is to check whether correct, and then specific feedback. That's during the attempt. This will allow you to use the options in adaptive mode. And then we don't need to do here and here, but the rest we will give. So the reason we have these feedback immediately after the attempt is that then students will get immediate feedback. They also get specific feedback over here during the attempt. And this is in line with the research we have on this in this area. Students will need to get feedback relatively quickly after they have answered something. And we go further. There's nothing here. We get down to restrictions. We usually do not use this this option. Restrict access is something that we do use. And what you can do is you can add restrictions such as, well, grade. That means that if you have some sort of, if you have a lot of quizzes in your course, or you can actually have students before they can take the quiz you're making, they have to have a passing grade or something like that in another quiz or something like that, or activity. And then you can also turn on this activity completion. Again, to complete this activity, you can have different criteria. For example, require passing grades or attempt as many times as, and so on. And this is actually very handy also for unlocking new activities later on. When you're done with when you have chosen what you want to choose, all you do is press save and display, and then you can start editing the quiz. And voila! So now you can edit the quiz, or you can go back to the course, and here you see what the students will be presented with when they go to your quiz. Okay, thank you for listening.